National Electrical Code Article 110.26 addresses the workspace about electrical equipment operating at 600 volts, nominal or less to ground. This section mandates specific clearances to ensure the safety of personnel working on or near energized equipment. The requirements of Article 110.26 are designed to provide sufficient space for electricians and other qualified individuals to safely inspect, maintain, and repair electrical equipment. The code specifies minimum distances for workspace width, depth, and height, which vary based on the voltage to ground and the presence of exposed live parts or grounded surfaces on either side of the equipment. The intent of Article 110.26 is to minimize the risk of electrical shock and arc flash hazards by providing ample room to maneuver and work safely. When a circuit breaker panel is installed on a riser in a kitchen within an apartment or condominium, the general requirements of Article 110.26 apply without exception. There are no specific provisions within the National Electrical Code that waive or modify the clearance requirements for circuit breaker panels in these residential settings. Therefore, regardless of the location of the panel within the apartment or condominium, the mandated workspace clearances must be maintained. The workspace width, as described in 110.26 AON, should be either 30 inches or the width of the equipment, whichever is greater. This ensures that there is adequate horizontal space for a person to stand and work comfortably. The workspace depth, detailed in 110.26 AQUA, varies based on voltage to ground and the conditions present on the opposite side of the workspace. For example, for equipment operating at 150 volts or less to ground, a minimum depth of 3 feet is required when there are exposed live parts on one side and grounded parts on the other side, or exposed live parts on both sides. For equipment operating at voltages between 151 volts and 600 volts to ground, the minimum depth increases to 3.5 feet under similar conditions. These distances provide sufficient room to prevent accidental contact with energized components. The workspace height, as outlined in 110.26 A3, dictates that the workspace must extend at least 6.5 feet high or to the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. This ensures that there is enough vertical clearance to prevent head injuries and allow for unobstructed movement. In the context of a kitchen installation, it is important to consider common obstructions and hazards. Appliances, countertops, and other kitchen fixtures should not encroach upon the required workspace. Additionally, care should be taken to ensure that the panel is not located in an area where it could be easily damaged or exposed to moisture. The riser itself must not obstruct the required workspace. The riser's construction and location must allow for unimpeded access to the circuit breaker panel. It is also crucial to ensure that the panel's door can be fully opened without obstruction, allowing for easy access to the breakers and other internal components. In summary, the absence of exceptions to Article 110.26 means that all the standard clearance requirements apply to circuit breaker panels in apartments and condominiums, including those installed on risers in kitchens. Proper adherence to these requirements is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical workers and preventing electrical hazards. Ignoring these clearances can lead to serious injury or even death.